I want my $17 back.
22. Yeah, I saw it in IMAX. So I had to pay 22.
You saw it in IMAX? I would not do that. I was not. You might have gone in with low expectations, but that's your fault for spending the extra $5.
Hell, it's not. It's shot for IMAX. Why would I watch it on a 13-inch screen to save $5? How poor do you think I am?
I don't think you want me to answer that live on screen. Hey, folks. Welcome back to the SideQuest Podcast. You might have caught us giving quick reviews of Project Hail Mary on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or another platform. We are going to give you just a quick overview of our thoughts together of how much this book was bastardized by the filmmakers. And I think that Andy Weir should be really upset. Okay? So here's the thing. Rocky's a puppet. Okay? You saw the clip. You saw me complaining about this. Rocky's a puppet. They just like move him around. And then it's like, oh, Rocky can do a thing. And then he just like sits there. In the book, he's so much more dynamic. He's funnier in the book too. Not that there wasn't funny moments in the movie, but the book is so much funnier. It's not even a question. Like, just not even there.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
Same thing. Ryland Grace doesn't get any play. Ryan Gosling, hey, you're not going to win an Emmy or any of the friggin' awards for this, but, you know, good job. Appreciate you playing the character. I think you did a good job. However, script-wise, awful. We don't get any time with Grace himself, like, being himself. It's just like a full movie of flashbacks and not even tastefully done. Visually, fine. I enjoyed it. Whatever. But, like, where's the nuance of him reflecting on, like, man, I don't want to die? We have one moment where he's with, what's frickin' German lady's name? Strat, thank you. We have one moment with Strat where she's like, I need you to do this. And he's like, I don't want to die. And she's like, okay, then I need you to understand what I'm going to do. That's it. But throughout the book, we had the opportunity to see him struggle with this, especially the opening. Like, they just spoon-fed, not even spoon-fed. They just like, hey, he made it to the next part. There's no tension. The movie has no tension.
Yeah, I hear you. I thought the movie was pretty good overall. I mean, there's...
About to meet you, Spenser.
You know, nobody asked you. When you take a book that's as good as Project Hail Mary and you have to condense it into a 2.5-hour film,
yeah,
like obviously you're gonna miss some stuff. There's a lot of things you can't put in there, especially like inner monologue. You know, that's a lot of what I think Hail Mary is just him wrestling with his own thoughts and like when you're by yourself, obviously you're not talking out loud. Well, I mean, maybe you are, but
just me, I think.
In a movie form, that would be kind of weird. So I think, you know, some of that stuff you're just going to miss, unfortunately. But I think as far as like between this and The Martian, I think The Martian was better.
Oh, yeah.
As far as like adapting the book into the movie. But one thing that I wanted to kind of mention, and this might be a little nitpicky, but in the book, Grace is finally recognized for his theory, like his initial paper that he was initially rejected by the scientific community by. And when he discovers astrophage in the movie, finds out it's a carbon-based water life form, and he's super disappointed. But then Rocky is not. Rocky is a totally different makeup.
Right.
And he's not, like, Grace isn't recognized for that in the end. Like, Strat doesn't give him any sort of recognition, like, in the scientific community. I don't know. I think that would have been a fun little note in the end. Just a little addition to Grace's contribution to saving the world, right? So, again, maybe a little nitpicky, but I thought that would have been fun. And then... yeah, just the other thing at the end was the ending was very condensed. In the book, it's very much more drawn out, and
forgot to
it was like
about that.
Oh yeah, we did like when Grace discovered the astrophage was leaking. It was because of the Tormeba escaping the Xenon like cages that they had him in, and it wasn't described. It wasn't explained very well. It was just a quick, here's the problem. Oh, he found the issue. Gotta go save Rocky. And that all happened within like, I don't know, a minute or less.
Yeah.
So it was just
barely any time.
In the book, it was
tension.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, no tension. It was like 5 chapters in the book. Or I don't know. It was a good portion anyway near the end. So those are my complaints about it. Overall, I will give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm giving it a B. And I enjoyed the hell out of the movie. I said so in my little review that we posted. Where it fails for me and why it gets a B instead of an A is the ending. Now, before I really show you my cards, the good parts about the movie. I did like Ryland Grace. I like Ryan Gosling playing him. I like Strat. I like Strat being a little bit more friendly and winsome and kind of humanized. I like that. I like the frickin' karaoke scene. Rocky was fun. And while I agree with Jonathan's assessment and, Spenser's here, that everything's so condensed and some things get glossed over, I expected that. It actually did better than I thought. I expected this to be hot garbage. But it turned out that it was a fun movie. As far as Hollywood is concerned and book adaptations go, this is a B. I expected nothing. Well, I did expect less, and I got a little bit more. But why it gets a B is the hot garbage ending. Absolutely garbage dumpster of an ending. And if they added 10 seconds, since this, a whole book into 2 hours, fine. Add 10 seconds for Grace at the end. Maybe give him something there, whether it's him being recognized for his work, the realization of that, or more so, for me, figuring out, oh, wow, I was kind of a jackass on Earth. I was put in this position, and I kind of came out okay. That realization, even in the fast-paced way they did all the other scenes, would have been great. And the aliens jumping around like idiots at the end, when he starts to teach them, like, I get what they're trying to do. In the book, he's like, oh, I'm on a foreign planet, and I'm a teacher again. And it's kind of like coming back to his familiar roots. I get what they're trying to do. But the aliens jumping around like little kids, it was such a letdown. Like, so overall, for Hollywood production, fabulous. Couldn't have asked for more, except for the ending. I think that's what killed it for me. It would have been an A. I would have been agreeing with you guys and telling you, hey, it's Hollywood. They have to condense a book, learn to live with it. They're not going to be as faithful as you wanted, Jonathan, or as faithful as you wanted, Spenser. But that ending was a kick in the nuts. It was like, what the hell? It was just so poorly done. Everything is great. The shots are great. The music is great. The acting is good. The characters, to me, because this is an adaptation, were good enough. I thought Ryan and Rocky, fun, great. I knew that what they were doing. That didn't disappoint me. You just wanted to
fist your bump. Just be honest.
Please, somebody better fist my bump. That ending just sucked. It went off the rails for me.
The Biosphere threw me off. Like, the whole big space, I mean, call that like 6 acres, right? Like, from end to end, 6 acres. That's a lot more space than the book implies, in my opinion.
And that was weird, too.
How do they make water when, like, to Spenser's point, that they're an inorganic... I looked it up because I couldn't remember. Rocky's people, the Eridians, are made of oxidized minerals and metals. They're living stone tarantulas. How are they making water if their whole thing is like xenonite and ammonia and whatever the other thing is?
That's how you make water. Those 3. They melted their own people to make him an ocean.
I don't think you know what water's made out of. This isn't Russia.
Of course it's not.
Well, and oxygen hurts Rocky's people, right? So, I guess he doesn't really explain that in the book, though, either.
They're little glass spacesuits. I know it's not glass, but...
Yeah, xenonite.
Yeah. Like, listen, I'm going to agree with every gripe and complaint you guys have. I'm going to agree with you 100%. My pushback will be, it's Hollywood. Like, I went into it expecting them to ruin something.
Well, so here's the thing. Look, it's hard... I get it. It's hard to translate book to movie. With a book, we're spending, to quote audiobooks, 15 hours at, 1.25 speed with the characters. You're not going to get every little nuance. However, really, really good book to movies, what's the main point? What should the climax be? And then you work your layers in like, hey, with Grace, how do we make sure that we still capture some of those things? And like, the trailer's better than the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The trailer's better than the movie.
Well, they even wrecked the trailer anyway by giving away Rocky.
Right.
Like, that was a huge reveal in the book. So again, that was a little bit poorly done in my opinion, but who knows? Maybe it helps sell the movie.
Yeah, I think people who haven't read the book knew Rocky was going to be in it. So it's, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I guess. Like, they could have used him or could have not used him in the trailer.
I think people wouldn't. Somebody made a comment on one of our YouTube videos that people wouldn't go see the movie if Rocky wasn't shown, because they're like, oh, why is this guy not?
That's silly.
Here's the thing: I don't fully disagree with them, because like if you haven't read the book, then you're like, oh, Project Hail Mary, it's Ryan Gosling in space, maybe I'll see it. But then they tease that there's like an alien encounter, and it's like, oh, hey, so if you haven't read the book, like that might draw you in to go, hey, let me take a quick look at this thing. To your point, Slava, like visually beautiful, right? Honestly, the shots are isolating because it's just him and it's all this wide negative space. Really great, right? The color, really great. It was a little weird to go to Rocky's point of view on and off. I get it, I understand, but I don't know. I think it was a little much, frankly.
In a way, I kind of liked it just because you kind of you now understand how Rocky sees the world, and
without eyes.
Yeah, and how was he able to communicate with Grace if we don't, I don't know, it just helps give the viewer a visual understanding.
Yeah, okay. The communication with Grace didn't feel true enough. And that's probably the only thing that I would like. I have a lot of hot takes in this. That's the thing that I die on, is like him discovering how to do language together didn't feel tangible enough the way that it does in the book. Do you know what I mean? Like when he's like trying to get, because he uses more musical notes, and that was like a very fun part of it. And instead it's just like, oh, hey, the noise you made, not musical, just the noise you made is this thing.
Yeah. In the book, it was definitely like, oh, this is music note C, this is music note C, D, and A combined, and it was, and like each little sound had its own word, so each set of notes was its own word. It was just very, very cool in the book, and yeah, I feel like you're right, Jonathan. I agree. That was just kind of skipped over a little bit, or maybe sort of condensed into like, oh, the sound. Oh, this sound is this word. I don't know. It was just too easy in a sense.
And that's kind of my point, right? The tension that we feel in the book, stripped from, not even like, oh, they didn't do it well. It's like, it's just not there at all.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything that I could call tension.
There's no tension.
No. But again, I default to my answer.
You
it's Hollywood.
You went in with much lower expectations.
Much lower expectations, yeah.
Yeah. I expected a lot more. I'm a purist.
I did too. Based on The Martian, how that one turned out, and then I was expecting a lot more on this one as well. But
see, I enjoyed the movie The Martian. I couldn't get past chapter 2 in the book, and I don't know why. It wasn't because I thought his writing was bad, because I started reading The Martian after I watched the movie, and I kind of got distracted, and I wasn't that much into it, so it fell by the wayside. After we read Project Hail Mary, I'm like, I still have Audible. Let me go back and try it. And it just never took. And I can't tell you why. I can't say, well, because I'm so bored with the character, or I don't like the writing, or the pacing is off, or anything.
Yeah.
Or why I didn't like A Wise Man's Fear for the first 10 chapters, or 30 chapters, actually. There was just no reason. I just couldn't get into it. Was that?
34, I think you said. 34.
34. Chapters. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
And so I can't relate to what you're saying, Spence. But to Jonathan's point, my expectations for this movie, irrespective of how cool the trailer was low. I'm like, I'm going to come out of this just rage-filled. Then I was like, oh, this is fun. This is a cool movie. Hollywood did okay. Hollywood did its usual. But like I said earlier, Josh, he just joined the chat, the ending just... garbage. I couldn't handle it.
I want my $17
what the hell is going on here?
I want my $17 back. Josh, what about
22,
you?
But okay, yeah, I saw it in IMAX. So I had to pay $22.
You saw it in IMAX? Well, I'm not that. I would not do that. I was not. You might have gone in with low expectations, but that's your fault for spending the extra $5.
Hell, it's not. It's shot for IMAX. Why would I watch it on a 13-inch screen?
It was a 12.
To save $5. How poor do you think I am?
I don't think you want me to answer that live on screen.
Yeah, the ending was strange to me. That was I'm with you on that, Slava. Also, I don't know what else you guys have talked about yet, but like, did anybody else think that Rocky was going to be larger? Like the way the book described it, I thought Rocky was described as being very large, but
you read it this week, so I will err on the side of trusting your remembrance. Yeah. The three of us read it a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have maybe a little bit more, but even in the trailer, I felt like I was expecting him to be larger based on the clip that they showed in the trailer. But in a way, it kind of made sense, just so he had room to bounce around in Grace's ship there. But
yeah, no, I thought that they did a good job of like portraying him, and then there were just a few things that were condensed. Right, that was like, oh, as I was watching it, like, oh yeah, they really left out a few things here and there. But overall,
especially with the team, that we get to spend more time with the team, and we spend zero time with the team, except for when Ryland Grace is being, quasi funny. But again, I've said this to them. I'm going to say it to you, Josh. Sorry, audience, you're going to have to hear it for the third time. I agree with all your gripes, especially Jonathan's. I just don't think Hollywood could have done better. They could have done better with the ending, because that was just off the cliff. And I'll die on that hill. Okay movie, garbage ending.
So he's going to tag the production company in all over the chats that we put out.
Yes. Sorry, Josh, you were saying.
Well, I was going to chime in on the debate over going to see it in IMAX. I would have seen this movie in IMAX. I'm a big fan.
It's shot in IMAX.
I agree with that as well. I thought the colors and the visuals were really well done. I would go see it again in IMAX probably.
I'm busy that day.
Yeah, it's worth it, dude. Like an IMAX, and I got the primo seat right in the middle, just a little bit off to the side, and the whole screen is right at the bottom of the screen was maybe at a 10-degree angle right here, and I was there for the moments you're talking, Jonathan. The empty space, the colors. It was out of this world visually.
Any other hot takes, Josh, as we close down?
No. I'm sure they'll come to me as after we wrap up, but yeah.
This ending
and
is better
another
than
thing.
ending.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I got a lot of problems with you people.
Oh, I thought that, I thought it is funny that they condensed some things, but they did slip in. I don't remember the character's name, but she wanted to die by a heroin overdose. They slipped that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russian engineer.
Yeah.
And they also didn't do they mentioned it, but the jazz hands, like that was kind of a big deal in the book. They covered, like, that was a big.
That's part of the nuance I'm talking about. Like, there's no.
Yeah. And they mentioned
there's
it
ways
once
to do that though.
Yeah, it was more like they really wanted to go with the fist bump thing in the movie, which. Yeah, it was funny. Fist my bump, haha. But like, I don't know, the jazz hands was kind of like, that was the fun little, like, between Rocky and Grace.
There was somebody in front of me, which there's like, there's a lot in front of me, actually, about 20 feet in front of me. And somebody was bawling, like, throughout the movie. Like, somebody was sniffling hard. And I was like, I get it with the book. The book is a little bit of a tearjerker towards the end. I can see that, but the movie, I was like, why are we crying? So somebody was moved.
I thought there were a few moments where it was like, this is a nice moving moment, but it wasn't anything where I was like, in tears the whole time. No.
There's a kid also. They were walking out, and his older brother took him. I guess they looked like they were related. But one was definitely older, and he's like, man, that's kind of sad that he's on, all alone on a distant planet. And the younger brother goes, That's not sad. That's the best part of the movie. I wouldn't want to come back to Earth if I did what he did. I was like, I like that kid.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That
You,
kid's
you
got a
weren't
rough
brave
home
enough
life.
to actually go on the mission, and so you had to be drugged into it. Like,
Yeah. He goes, after that, I wouldn't want to go back home either.
right.
Oh my gosh.
That
so
also,
funny.
Spencer, any of you remember him having to be drugged to be put on the mission?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
I remember it being kind of him being strong-armed, but I don't remember him being drugged. But oh, well.
Josh
Oh, he
did
was
a
drugged.
Josh did a mental filter like, I don't appreciate people being drugged, so I don't even read. I can't even.
So I
see
just
what I'm reading.
Yeah.
block
Yeah.
that part out of my mind.
Yeah.
Talk about trauma, Josh.
Yeah.
Different episode.
I was rushing through the book to finish it before we went to go see it. But
To be fair to you, like you picked up the book on Tuesday and it's Saturday, so
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's
That's
not a long book, but like,
It's
I
still a
think you
quick.
did it.
It's still a quick read.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
absolutely.
I read A Wise Man's Fear, 50 chapters at 2.5 speed.
Oh my gosh.
So, and I think I missed maybe a few things. You know,
He missed a lot, folks. Stay tuned for that episode coming in season 6. But anyway, thanks for joining us today to do a quick review on Book to Movie, Project Hail Mary, and how trashy it was. What did you guys think? Did you really like it, or did you agree with me and think it was just absolute horse crap? See you next time.